Hi, everybody. Thanks for tuning in today. I wanted to kind of bring you along with me on something that I do on a weekly basis. And I don't know if everybody does it this way or not. I feel like I might be kind of in the minority in this particular case. So I consider myself a hybrid planner. And what that means is that I use both paper or analog and digital planning to plan out my weeks, my months, my productivity really. And it's taken me quite a while to get to this point, if I'm being honest, because I started as a as a digital planner. Several years ago, I purchased an iPad and I decided that I wanted to get more organized, and I started looking into GoodNotes and just, I mean, if you know, you know, right? It's a it's a rabbit hole for sure. And so I found myself just absolutely falling in love with digital planning. I was more organized. I was able to use my creativity in so many ways, and I can talk for days about why I love planning digitally. That being said, I've also always been a journaler, and um, eventually I was sucked into the analog side of planning, which is a huge community, a fantastic community. And so since then, I have also, I have really amped up the kinds of journaling that I do, which, gosh, it's really brought me a ton of joy over the last year and a half or so. And, and I've also kind of changed the way I've done some of my planning for productivity as well. So I want to kind of bring you guys along for all of this, and hopefully throughout the course of some Plan With Me videos, give you guys an opportunity to see how it is that I am a hybrid planner, how I incorporate digital planning and paper planning and journaling into my life. So if that's something that you're interested in, I hope you stick around, and I hope that you continue to come back for more. So today I'm going to plan out my work week for next week, and today is Friday. I just finished up work, and I am now looking to plan next week. So typically the way that I do this is my this week spread, and typically the way that I do this is I will throughout the week. This is next week. Throughout the week, I will go through and write down meetings that come up, priorities. I have a list of priorities that I need to drop in here still. I keep track of things that I need to add to my plan on the week just by writing it in, right? And then I will go back. Sorry, this is acting goofy on me. Then I will go back and plan it, make it look beautiful, right? And so that's what I'm going to do today, and I want to show you how I do that. So for anybody who doesn't know, I am using the PDF annotation app Noteful. I'm using an iPad, a 13-inch iPad, the most recent generation. It's not a Pro, it's an Air, iPad Air. And then I'm using an Apple Pencil, the Apple Pencil Pro. Okay, so, oh, and I'm also using, I should tell you, this is one of Breezy Organization's 2026 planners. This is their ringed planner. She's got a ton of options, a ton of beautiful planners that are incredibly functional, and I really love her. I love her products. I think today for my planning purposes, I will probably be using a different creator. I have pulled up one of my very favorite packs ever for stickers and digital planning, and that is from Planning to Prosper. It is 2029's Seize the Day sticker kit. So that's, I think, what I'm going to be planning with today. Okay, so I guess let's just dive in. First, So I like to kind of, all of this writing is on the top layer at the moment, and I'm probably going to keep it there. But I think what I want to do is go in and start making some of these, giving some of these some background colors. So let's just, I want to go to I want to use the kit, the colors in the kit. So we'll look at these widget shapes back here. And the way that these are set up, they're actually, it's super easy to plan using these types of shapes. I want to see, yeah, I want to see if this actually fits. Can you hear the garbage truck in the background? Sorry. I want to see if this actually fits any of those squares. I'm just going to copy those and drop them in here. I have no idea. Yeah, that's going to be a little too thin. I don't think that that's going to look right if I try to stretch it out with the image on there. So we're not going to be able to use those, but Noteful is such a fantastic application, seriously. And I'm going to show you the reasons for that here in just a second. I'm trying to decide if I want the border here or if I want to just use regular. Let's try the border and see what happens. I don't know if that's going to look goofy when I stretch it or not, but not really. Okay. You know what else I'm going to do, actually, to make this a little bit easier? So I'm going to circle all of these together, and I'm going to hit resize, and then I'm just going to line up this one right here on the end and blow it up as big as I can. I might have to squeeze this down a little bit so that it fits. Oh, I don't know if that's going to work. I don't think that's going to work either. Dagnabbit, guys. Yeah, it is. Sorry. I was making that more difficult than I needed to. Maybe. I don't have, well, that's a bummer. Okay, so I guess I can halfway get it. My goal, sorry for that, what I was trying to do is get all of these the same size so that I can just drop each one, see what I mean? Same size, right where it's at, and not right on the day, and not have to worry about resizing each one. And I can almost do it, but not quite, because time out. Maybe I can. No, it's probably still not going to let me do it. No, see, that's so weird. It doesn't give me the option to stretch it on the side unless I only have one. Isn't that interesting? So we're almost there, halfway there. I'm gonna do it this way, one at a time, and stretch this out this way. I think that's pretty good. Let's zoom way in. Scooch that up just a little. Okay, and then I'm going to send this to the back. I think we need to stretch this out just a little bit more. Okay, I think that'll do. Yep, it doesn't have to be perfect, honestly. So now we'll move over and do this guy. know, and I think the other thing that I want to do, actually, while I'm at it, we will arrange this, send it to the back. I want to put both of these on a different layer. I'm going to put that on my locked layer. There is a Noteful update that I have not done yet, and I need to, because as I understand it, I think there's a lock feature now that you can use where you can actually lock these rather than putting them on their own layer. So that is something that I will do. I'll get that updated, and then I'll have to learn how to use it. But it sounds like it may actually be a little bit easier even than using layers, which I happen to kind of like. It's kind of fun. But okay, so we'll spread that out, and then we're gonna move it, or send it to the back. We're gonna move it to the locked layer. I probably don't actually have to send it to the back because I'm not keeping any of this actual written content on here. So sending it to the back, sending it to the locked layer is actually all I really need to do. This is not quite matching in size, is it? Those are a little funky. I might have to go in and fix that. It's kind of bugging me here. Here, hold it. Okay, there we go. And we will just move this to the locked layer instead of sending it to the back. Okay, well, and what I should have done is duplicated these. So just a second. We're going to duplicate these three. Move these around maybe. For some reason, the sizes are a little bit off, and I'm not entirely sure why. Well, probably because I have to do them separately. Sorry, I'm not used to doing this on video, and I'm just sitting here talking to myself. Okay, so these are not perfect by any means, but this is my work. This is my work week. It's not my pretty week. I'll do that another time so you guys can follow along. But I think for right now, I'm going to just stick with these this way. So what layer am I on right now? We're going to go back up to this editing layer, and I think I want to put the dates on here. She has some really fun date dots, but I don't think I want to use those. She's also got, yeah, she's got some numbers like these that are kind of their own. They don't have a background on them, and I think I'm going to use these. So what is it? Fourth? Yeah, fourth, fifth, sixth. And then we're going to make these big, big. That'll do. I'm going to put 4 over here. I'm not sure yet where I want these numbers to go. for now. We don't put the weekend on our work week because we don't work the weekends, which is fine by me. Yeah, I like how those look. And then I do want to add something that says the weekend. But I think I need to figure out what kind of days I want to use first. Oh, maybe not. Okay, let's do... Is that a dark blue over there? No. Okay. Let's do this one. Try this one. I don't know if I want to keep that weekend there or not. If I decide to list my priorities and some stuff for next week, I'll probably get rid of this, but we'll see. All right, now let's see about changing. I want to put the days on here now. So, but I think I don't know if it's going to be too busy. I don't want it to be too busy. However, I want to consider using, I really love these designs. Actually, I think I love that one the most, but let's see what this looks like. And then I want it a little bit bigger. This might not work. What happens? I don't know if my brain is going to figure this out. Hey, look at that. Guys, you see that magic? What in the heck? All right, let's get real close. There we go. Wait, we're going to group these first. And then we're going to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, just in case. And we're going to take this one and move it to our locked layer. Now I'm just going to start moving these guys all around. I don't know if I want, I probably do. Just kind of move them down here and get them where they're supposed to be, and then I'll zoom right back in again and put them where I officially want them in a minute. Okay, and then last, to finish that part off, I'm going to pick my days. Months and days, and I think I like these. These are really great because they have, I don't want Saturday and Sunday. These are great because they have like a white outline on them. So when you put them, I grabbed Saturday on accident, when you put them on something that's really busy, like this background, they stand out really nicely. And I just love that. I think I want them to be a little smaller. Yeah. Maybe even just a little smaller than that. Okay, so there's Monday. And again, we'll move these around and put them precisely where we want them in just a minute. And I don't want Saturday. Okay. Let's start moving some of this stuff to their final destinations. I think, get this guy out of the way. I gotta decide exactly where I want Tuesday to go. We're gonna bring this to the front. I don't mind that. Sometimes it's fun, really, to just kind of play around with it. I actually kind of like that. It's cute. I think maybe I'm going to do that. Monday needs to be more in the middle. And then we're going to make this big. This is at a 48, so I'm going to make this one the same. And then pull the opacity down to 48. What do you think? Does that, I think it looks kind of cool. I have a feeling that this might end up being kind of a busy spread, but you know what? I am not mad about busy. I can be okay with busy. Keeps things interesting. I have a tendency to kind of vacillate between busy spreads and super simple spreads and like really fancy, pretty decorated spreads and just totally functional spreads. I don't know. That's the fun thing about digital planning because you can go through so many different, I don't know, moods, phases. You can make it whatever you want to make it and you can change it up. And if you plan this on a Friday and on Monday when you show up for work, you're in a super functional mood and you don't want to look at all the fancy stuff because it's Monday, then you can change it and make it something else. And I don't know. I think that that's probably one of my favorite things about digital planning, that it's so flexible. There are no mistakes. There are no mistakes in digital planning. And I think that really changes the game, honestly. With paper planning, analog planning, once you put that sticker down, this is like way off. That's okay. I'm really actually not going to be that picky today. I'm sorry. There's probably some perfectionists out there that are like, I literally cannot watch you any longer because you're going to let that go. And if it makes you feel any better, I'll probably go back and fix it. But since it's on another layer, I'm just going to keep going so I can get this sucker knocked out. Okay. I think I am going to probably. My problem with, I really want to put priorities in next week here, and I can do that. But if I want to make all of this cohesive, I really would want to have some way of putting those actual words there. And I know that we don't have those words in particular, but I don't know if I have any words actually, if I'm being honest. this week, mood, and then, yeah, I don't have any words that I can put in there. However, what I do have are like these kinds of things, and these can be, matter of fact, these can serve the purpose too. And maybe that will be enough to kind of make it look like its own, I don't know, its own box. It doesn't have to be quite so cohesive that way. Does that make sense? A tip to get something exactly the right size is to put it right over the top of it like that, and then you can match it up. These are a little bit off. Okay. And then, so now the next thing that I need to do is pick a font. What font do I want to use for this? And I think since we've got such, such a pretty cursive, curvy, bouncy looking font here, I probably want to make the rest of this a pretty simple font. As a matter of fact, one of my favorites is this JGD sourdough font. I love Caviar Dreams too. Maybe we'll try bold. That's one of my favorite fonts. And then probably want to make it let's just see here. Yeah, I don't like it. No, I don't like it. Okay, but this needs to be a little bit larger then. Okay, and that is not the word highly, that should be huddle. 10 a.m. And then we have a call with our financial advisor at 11 a.m. That's one of those adulting things that, I don't know, it just seems like people tend to put off, and it's really not something that you should put off. But so we're finally getting to it, and hopefully we will be pleased with this particular person. Your financial advisor is one of those people that I feel like you need to make good friends with, right? We've never met this guy, but he's got pretty good recommendations. Okay, sorry, you guys can probably hear my dog barking in the background. He's losing his mind over probably nothing. All right, let's finish this. I can't tell what that says. Yeah, we got it right. Two o'clock. And then we've got I am, in case anybody is curious why this is what my work week looks like, or hasn't been able to figure out why this is what my work week looks like, I work in marketing for a health system. So this is my Monday morning. Oops. What did I just do? Nothing, actually. This is a perfect size, so I'm going to put it right there. And then I'm going to duplicate it. The reason I'm duplicating it is just to make sure that the letters and everything are exactly identical, and it's just a little bit easier to do it that way than restarting. Okay. Okay, so now I can go through with my eraser. I always like doing it this way, and really it's just because it's kind of like this fun reveal. That's really cheesy of me. I know, sorry. It's the little things, guys. Okay, go through and erase all this stuff. And probably, actually, what I'll do also is duplicate. We're gonna let's see. Priorities can go here, and then, oops, duplicate this one more time, and we'll say this is next week. Okay, there. Now, this is pretty basic, but I like it that way, truly, because it is for work, and it's nice to, you know, just be able to, it just has to be functional, right? However, this kit is so beautiful that I have a really hard time not using any of the deco. I can't do that. So let's see, we're going to find just a couple things that are particularly lovely. And I love these. I love these flowers here. So let's copy those, paste those. Put those right there. Also, sorry, I think I just hit the, oops. like to highlight the week so that we know where we're at with things, right? Okay, let's see. There's probably a couple more things. I love this washi. Isn't that washi tape fun? It's super cute. All of these things are fantastic, but all right, so I think I'll use the turtle. He's one of my favorites. And then it's so easy to go overboard on deco, but I mean, first of all, is there ever really an overboard? No, but I don't know. I don't know if I like that. I'm not sure that I do. Actually, I kind of think, if I'm being honest, that I just want to throw in a few more of these and maybe even make them a little bit bigger. Yeah, I just think they're so pretty. Okay, I think that's pretty good. The only thing then that we have left to do is, well, number one, I could change the color of my rings. She's got a couple of different options. There's black ones, there's gold ones, and I think that any of them would look really nice, but I actually just really like how the silver looks with these colors, so I think we'll leave that be. But what I do want to get is some tabs. So these are Breezy Organization's color changing tabs. These go specifically with the rings planner. And then you can change the color of them. And since there's white lettering on these, I want to go with a darker color so that white stands out. And then we just want to kind of fine tune this a bit to make sure it is aligned appropriately. Sometimes, usually they land right where they're right where they're supposed to. But sometimes you have to fiddle with them a little bit. And then when you drop these on, they're grouped together so that it's easier to arrange them and get them in the right spot, but then you'll want to ungroup them so that you have access to the other stuff on the page. Then the last thing that I like to do, especially if this is going to be a page that I'm working on regularly throughout the week next week, I want to take everything that I created and I want to lock it. I'm going to put it on that locked layer. Now I can tap anywhere in here and nothing is going anywhere. And I've got my whole work week planned out, and I can check this over the weekend. I can check this on Sundays. Having this in front of me and seeing this planned out like this is enough to kind of calm those Sunday scaries that you get. I don't know if anybody else has those, but this really, really helps me with that. And I don't know, I love it. And this is one part of my hybrid planning system, one digital part of my hybrid planning system. And I've got a lot more to go over and a lot more to show you guys. As a matter of fact, a sneak peek, I have the month of May to plan because here we are in the month of May. And so this is going to be planned out very soon, and I'll bring you guys along for that. The other thing I have to plan is my personal week. Okay, so you guys will have to check back for that, but I'll just drop this in here so that I have all of the information I need to get my personal week planned, and check back for that video. It'll be coming soon. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you soon.